So what I want to do today is to ask you certain basic questions so that we come to an understanding about where you are standing, whether you are the cause of your unemployment. When I started the business that I'm currently doing, I was doing the accounting and virtually everything by myself. Okay, but as the business began to grow, and as it stands right now, as I have indicated, I have 25 workers working for me. A time came whereby I needed to put structures in the business so that the business does not depend on me, so that I will not be the central figure within the business. It needed to be self-sustaining. Okay, so that I have a manager, I have an accountant, I have a marketer. Everybody is responsible for their role, and then things do not necessarily revolve around me. So I started doing recruitment. But I want to talk about one particular recruitment that I was doing, which has to do with the role of the accountant. I was recruiting an accountant for my business. It took me virtually 2 long months. Actually, get an accountant as soon as possible. But it took me 2 months for me to recruit a Ghanaian to fill the role of an accountant within my institution. And I'm talking about just a very small bakery that I'm running, an upcoming bakery that I'm running. It took me 2 months for me to do that recruitment. Now, this was the issue. We started looking for someone to fill the role of an accountant. And I started having a lot of calls from Ghanaians, the youth. They wanted to work for me. I would say about 60 to 70% of those that called me were university graduates. There was one person who called me who was a master's holder. He holds a master's degree in accounting. And the rest that called me, almost all of them had a degree in accounting, and they were interested in the role. But nevertheless, I could not recruit them. They came, I did an interview with them, I had discussions with them. A time came that I was very, very disappointed. That was the time that it dawned on me that could this be the reason why the youth, they are really struggling to gain employment? Why? Because, for instance, when they come, we sit down, we discuss, okay, this is the role that you will do the accounting, and I ask you, do you know how to use a computer? A basic computer, because I had a laptop that I was using for the accounting, so I needed to pass on the laptop, and I had my own Excel and stuff that I have done, Microsoft Office, Excel that I have done that I was using for my accounting. So I just needed to show them, I designed everything myself, the tools that were used for the daily accounting and computations. So I just needed someone who could use a computer and then enter figures into Excel and then give me reports and feedback. As basic, it's a very simple task. It's not a complicated task because it's just a bakery. It's not nothing complex. Trust me, it took me 2 months before I had somebody who could who could use a computer. This thing I'm telling you, you will think I'm joking. Master, I am telling you that most of the graduates who came, including the one who did the masters, did not know how to use the computer. They didn't know how to use the computer. About 3-4 guys who came, they said they know how to use it, and I realized that most of them was for watching movies and for playing music and for doing other stuff. Okay, so they know their way around the computer. About 3-4 guys, I saw that in them. They know their way around. I gave them a computer that they should open. There's a file over here, whatever they should. But for them who knew how to use the computer, they didn't know how to use Microsoft Office. They didn't know how to use it. I opened the Excel over there. They simply could not use Microsoft Excel. So then I was asking them, are you not a university graduate? They said yes. Actually, it came with their certificate. So how come that you don't know how to? So then what kind of accounting are you coming to do? And one lady told me that but she's good with calculation. So she would calculate. And but what they were saying wasn't something that was, that was surprising to me, because me of myself, I also went through that same educational system. Okay, whereby everything we're doing was calculation and calculation, book long. We take a paper and calculate. But the computer that we would use, the real things that we will use when you go into the corporate world, we were not trained on that. And finally, when all was said and done, I had a gentleman. He's a gentleman who had completed SS. He was just an SS graduate who had just completed. I was there when he called me. We had a discussion. What's your level of education? He said SS. Because I was desperate, and it's like, Charlie, I was wondering how I'll even get someone. He called me. I asked him, do you know how to use a computer? He said yes. Do you know how to use Excel? He said yes. I said, okay, you should come around. So he came. I opened the Excel, and I realized that he knew his way around it. He wasn't that good with it, but at least he knew the basic. So what happened? I sat down with him for about 2 weeks, and I began to teach him on how to, the tools that I had generated. And because he knew the basic, I was able to, work with him. And after 2 to 3 weeks, I trained him on the role. Then he started doing his accounting role, and he did a fantastic and formidable work for me. I had university graduates, I had one master's holder, and nevertheless, I could not employ them. I could not employ them because what are you going to do for me? You don't know how to, you are not equipped to work within the, you're not equipped to work. This thing I'm saying is not just limited to our traditional universities and the kind of graduate that we are, because trust me, the graduate that we are bringing forth, master, they can barely do anything. The graduate that we are putting forth, they are walking around with CVs and they can barely do anything. It is something that goes on. They can barely do anything. All they have is the certificate that they have and knowledge in their head. Certain knowledge they have acquired, baba that they have chewed. No, but when you put a task before them that, okay, this is a computer, can you just even, there are many, when you even give them office word for them to type, they will not be able to type. They can't even open and save something on a computer. But the same person is complaining that there are no job opportunities in this country. In my business, I have countless people coming to me and calling me and sending me messages that they need employment. I'll be there and I'll receive a call. Yeah, Mr. Steven, please, this gentleman gave me your number, or this friend of yours gave me your number. I said I should call you. You can help me get a job or something, employment or whatever. Then I'll say, okay, fine, but so what kind of job do you want to do? And he will tell me that, oh, I'm ready to do anything. I said, okay, no problem. But for you, what can you do? What do you know how to do? And this is the question that I'm putting to you. What do you know how to do? On which skill set do you want to be employed? Because when I'm employing you, I'm not employing you for the fun of it. No businessman, no entity would employ you for the fun of it. Yeah, these things happen in the government sector. No, those things, they just recruit people. You come and sit down, you do some office, and it happens in the government sector. You don't need those competencies and stuff. I understand, but I'm talking about the real life, because the government sector accounts for a very small portion of in terms of employment. The motive for this video is to let you know that, Charlie, when you position yourself well in this country, you will have so much. That is why there are some Ghanaians who are so well sorted after. Master, there are opportunities in this country. There are opportunities in this country. Master, there are so much opportunities in this country. I'm talking to you from experience. You need to rise up and shine your eye. You have a university certificate, a master's certificate, and then you have no competencies. You want to work as an accountant and nevertheless you don't even know how to use a computer. You don't know how to use those accounting softwares. There are softwares that you need to know. These are things that you need to know. As your employer, yeah, you have a degree, I'm happy that, but that is not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in what you are coming to do for me, the problems that you are coming to solve for me. That is what employers will look at. Because the very moment we decide to do recruitment, we are doing recruitment because we have a need that we need somebody to come and fill. So it is not your certificate that we are interested in. We are interested in your competencies, what you can do. What skill set do you have? What skill set do you have? My friend, I would strongly encourage you going forward that build certain competencies in your life, skill set that you know. There are certain skill sets you need to have. Depending on whatever job you want to do, there are certain basic skill set that you need to have. And I would strongly encourage you to go after this skill set, because these are the things that will make you extremely valuable wherever you find yourself. I would now encourage you to subscribe to this channel. My friend, forget about that TikTok and those social media things that you guys have been following. Your youthful age is the time for you to put your life in order and take your time and follow the materials that have been shared on this channel. And I'm telling you that you do not need to travel in order to make it. When you put your house in order, you can make much more money in this country than those who have traveled. And you can make that money at ease. At ease. Master, there is happiness in this country. The kind of happiness that exists in this country, you have no idea. The only issue has to do with the fact that there is lack of money. But there is lack of money because of the fact that you have made yourself to be unemployable. You have no skill set. You don't even know how to use a computer. You don't even know how to use an Excel. You don't even know how to use the basic softwares that you know you are supposed to know in the role that you want to do.